Right, we are recording. Sound is recording. We're not doing this one again 3 times.
Let me just blink before we film.
Yes, has been having this thing that he looks back at the video and he thinks he's like, he thinks he's
Don't
like
point it out.
blinking too much.
No, it's not too much. It's like I blink with this eye.
Or you blink only with one eye like a psycho.
No.
It's just like constant.
When I see ourselves like this, with this color, it looks like I'm not wearing a shirt.
I know, I had it with you the other day. I told you, I was driving in and Jesse was in the parking. And I was like, is Jesse shirtless? What's going on? But it's just because your skin tone's blending in with the shirt. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back. This is a much overdue video. You all probably thought, we'll never see him again. They said they wanted to do this podcast thing. It's called Unstable, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll never see them again because we haven't heard from them in 2 months. What happened is life happened. And I think...
So what happened?
I think we, like the whole thing of this is that we wanted to stay relevant to like the months we're shooting it in. So we can't shoot like ahead of time because then it's like disconnected from our lives. But we've had like a jam-packed...
You guys.
We've had a jam-packed 2 months. It's been really crazy. Like I went to Australia, you had a show in Denmark. All these things were like back to back. So yes, we're
and
not...
in Belgium.
Yeah, then there was Belgium, and then we went for a skiing trip. We'll get into all of that, but it's been like back-to-back dates, and we haven't had time to sit down because either I was gone or Jesse was gone. And clearly, I even told Jesse, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to shoot it without you. I'll do like a solo one.
Yeah, just like that, she was replaced.
I didn't want to do that because that's like, that's a real shame.
But on the other hand, I'm here with another cup.
Oh yeah, Yes's mug of the week. What is it?
Yes.
Mug of the month, mug of the 2 months.
This one is from somebody very nice. Her name is Mandy and she made this painting from Antares and it's an actual painting. But she also sent me... Wait.
I hope she also refocuses on us too now.
She also sent me it in a cup. So it's beautiful. With ginger in there. Wait, I'll refocus on you. Up at... I need to go down then.
Okay, we'll come back now. I want to take 60 seconds to explain why Squarespace is the perfect platform for you if you're looking to build a website or if you're looking to switch over to an easier platform to run your website. I've run my website through Squarespace for many years now. What I loved about it is that they offer hundreds of already made templates that you can just go in and kind of quickly get some inspiration and create what you want from. I can really easily manage my storefront, update stock levels, and do little quick updates to my website also through my phone. So when I'm traveling, it's really convenient. They keep coming out with new innovations and updates to make all the features more useful for your website and also new creative ideas to make it look always even better and updated. I couldn't recommend Squarespace more highly, especially if any of you like me have no real knowledge on how to do these kind of things. Squarespace will take you through the step-by-step guide of how to do everything yourself and save a lot of money in the process. If this sounds like something that you're interested in, then do use my link, which will also support my channel, which is www.squarespace.com/Harnacke. And in doing so, you'll receive 10% off the first purchase of a website or a domain. I want to go through things a little bit in like chronological order as to all the events, and we've got a lot of questions to get into. This video is going to be quite long, so we're going to split it up into 2. That way you guys still get the 2 videos.
It's going to be quite long.
Yeah, buckle up. You better get some more ginger in there.
I didn't have that planned.
Well, we have so much to talk about, and we've missed a month, so they need last month and this month. So we have like live to talk about to you guys, and then we're going to go to some questions. But you saw, and we've talked about it, everyone's comments. Last time I left a question, I said, you guys want us to have more of like a studio setup. Do you remember?
Yes.
For like the Unstable podcast, I said, do you think it would be fun to have it? Because there's a lot of variables here that make it really difficult for us like to actually sit down and film because this is a working stable and we just plonk ourselves in the middle. So it's a little bit tricky. Weather, all that kind of stuff.
Busy at the moment.
Yeah. So we said to you guys, should we set up a studio somewhere and have more of like a professional setup with a couple of cameras? I was surprised.
Well, I wasn't too surprised actually, because I think most of the answers were that you guys just liked it like this, liked it more like easy, more real. And I think a lot of times, I mean, growing is always good, but sometimes I think it's also good to kind of keep things I don't know how to say it, like more wholesome and more like how
No, I get that, but I was like, I thought they would have really enjoyed. And so for now, we're going to keep things like this, basically. But a lot of you guys just said, we like it like this. We like to see the horses and everything happening. So it's a little bit more difficult in terms of getting like good quality, good sound and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys are saying you don't mind, then we will just keep it this way for now.
But it doesn't mean that if we do end up doing sometimes in a nice setup, that also can be nice.
Yeah.
Of course. We'll just see.
For now, things will stay like this. Okay, I think we should recap the last 2 months because I feel like so much is happening.
2 months? I don't even know what happened last week.
Well, I can remind you. We can like go step by step, but I feel like so much has happened and I feel like we're at a crossroads a little bit. Also with like the property stuff, I want to talk a little bit about that as well. But let's start with the beginning. So I think the first thing that happened is I went to Australia. I typically go every year.
Did you not first go to the other country?
Saudi Arabia. I think I talked about that already. I think that was already...
Remember.
Okay, I went to Saudi Arabia, but after that I went to Australia and I went to visit my friend Meg and I always go once a year for around 10 days. It was a lot of fun. I was honestly like shocked. I mean, I lived in Australia for 10 years and one of our first phone calls, I told you, I was like, there's no way I think I could live here again and do horses. It was so hot and so humid, like 37, 38 degrees. It can still get much. I mean, we had one day where it was like 40 degrees.
I will remind you of that after today when you say, oh, this weather here.
Oh my God, but the humidity was constantly between like 85% and 95%. The air was like so thick. It was just like anything you did, I was sweating. My back was wet from sweat from the moment I landed to the moment I left. It was just insane.
Sounds like a nice trip then.
Yeah. I just don't remember. I think when you live in countries like that, you get used to it. I feel like here we're quite used to like the cold and the wind and the rain and all that kind of stuff. But it was the cold you can layer up. There's stuff you can do. With the heat, there's nothing you can do. And also for the horses, my friend Meg has jumping horses and we just took them on some trail rides during these hot days and took it quite easy. But even then, the horses are just like sweating, just like existing.
It's very impressive how they do it. I think it's a whole different kind of managing them also.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to all the Aussies out there because you guys do not have it easy. Even like I went to a show there for 2 days and the horses need to be like transported in hot weather. They need to like stand at a truck for the whole day. Like it's a lot. So it's really impressive. But it did make me think, I was like, I don't think I could do this again. Like it's not enjoyable anymore for me.
So, then you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
We're not going to Australia, at least in no time soon. But it was super fun to go back and visit, to see my friend and some other friends as well. It always has like...
I think Australia is very special, no?
Yeah, it always has a weirdly homey feeling. Even though it feels like a distant place now, it still has like a strange homey feeling as well. So yeah, it was really nice. Then I came back, and I feel like when I came back, you weren't here. Where were you?
I was in Belgium, I think.
For what?
For a show, an event. Because I think that was the last weekend. Because I couldn't even pick you up. So I had like a 3-day show there, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you were in Belgium for a show, and then you came back, and I think I had a lot of work to do. Obviously, I'd been away for like 10 days, a little bit more with the flying. So I had quite a lot of work and stuff to catch up on when I came back. And then shortly after, you left for Denmark.
Yes.
Because you had, well, tell us about Denmark.
Well, I had a really nice show there. There was like an event that was about like the Danish warm blood, but they also have like a gala night. It's 2 nights there and it's really, really cool. It's huge actually. I think they have like 8,500 people each show, and it's like the tribunes and then even higher. So I was there for the gala show with Macho, and it was very cool because I like doing this show.
What? Oh. I'm listening.
No, I know, but my story doesn't make sense already.
No, I think people are getting it. I don't think you're very humble. You haven't quite made people understand that it's like the biggest show you've ever done. There was like 8,000 people in the audience.
I think it was just very nice, and I just like now also being allowed to travel outside more like the Netherlands, Belgium and Germany, but going a little bit further out there now as well.
Yeah.
And Macho was so excited, and we had a theme there because the whole theme of the night was like movie movie themes.
Yeah.
So our movie was called The Men in Black, and I had to wear the suit. Macho was just being macho. And they had like this really cool thing. I don't know if you know the movie. I didn't know it, but apparently if you have this thing and you put it up, then everybody else forgets everything that happened at that moment. So only it doesn't work if you have your sunglasses. So I had to end with my sunglasses on and hold up this thing, and then the whole arena was flashing.
There was a big theme threaded throughout your performance. It wasn't just like a random thing. The show really put in like a lot of thought into giving you like this idea and working around that.
And it was really cool because I was very excited to go there because it was a big thing. So I was also super happy that Macho did really, really well. Because he was so on, and he really liked it there, even because traveling to Denmark is a bit further. He came off the truck full of energy, and then even after the show when we walked back to the stables, he left with a Spanish walk. It was very cute. And for one...
Because you're so... 2 minutes later, you're like, did you say something? I was gonna ask, because this was the biggest show you've ever done with like 8,000 people, and it's only you. Well, hold on, I'm not even finished.
Yeah, but it's not really the right way of phrasing it.
No, but you don't even know what I'm gonna say.
Well, it's not really per se the biggest show I've ever done. It's like different.
Well, if you would have let me finish.
Okay.
There was 8,000 people in the tribunes, and you were the only person in the arena giving a show. So like all the kind of focus is on you. With that comes a lot of pressure. Were you not nervous? Because like, for instance, I would be very nervous doing something like that in front of so many people, especially when it's like Liberty, because I feel like in the riding, you know your variables a little bit, but when it's Liberty, the horse can just say, bye, not today, not gonna happen.
Yeah, well, that's what I always struggle with, because I never go to a show relaxed. I mean, when I do my demonstrations where I can talk, it's fine. But when I do the shows where it's on music and all that kind of stuff, I'm always very nervous.
Yeah.
Because with the Liberty work, you never know what's going to happen, especially not with my horses, which is a good thing because you want them to be free and not feel forced to do it. So yeah, I'm very nervous for that. But he was really on, and then the organization, before I went in, they said, oh, I hope he's going to be naughty, because we like that. So then my nerves were a lot less, because I was like, oh, even if he doesn't really do it, as long as I feel that they are excited, then it's fine for me.
And I think they mean naughty like cheeky, like funny. Yes. Like if he runs away a little, or if he does like something a little bit sassy, they like that it's not like super perfect.
But Macho was great. He was perfect actually. The only thing that wasn't perfect was me, because I forgot my pants. I was super prepared. I put all my show outfits in the hotel in one corner. I had a special suitcase for it. Then we were filming for 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐𝒘 TV, and I was about to put on my outfit, and I was like, holy.
Where are my pants? Because his outfit was a suit. So you need, like, obviously you have to have matching suit pants. Otherwise the Men in Black theme and everything.
It was going to be men in jeans.
Yeah.
But I was going to go to the VIP and be like, who has a suit here?
Who's willing to swap pants?
But then I swapped them with Kim. Then I realized when I stepped out of this...
Kim's kind of PA assistant that works for him. And obviously Kim is a woman.
Yeah,
so
and she went into the stable, she took down her pants, and gave them to me, and I took mine down, and we swapped. Oh no, she had other pants actually.
They were a little bit short, but it worked.
Yeah, I mean, then another rider got special socks from him, because the pants came till here.
Like they were hemmed
so I needed to have longer socks. But anyways, we're making it very long. There's a whole video coming about it.
It worked out. Yeah, Jesse will do a whole video about it, so there'll be more of a deep dive on his channel about that show and that whole experience. But I'm very proud of you. You did really, really well.
I'm
very proud of Macho as well.
Yes, me too. I'm very proud of him, and it's just really cool to be able to do these things now. So I hope these things will continue in the future.
Yeah, I think it's like now, with these big shows and doing these performances with the spotlights and the whole atmosphere, it's like, I think what like Jesse in the beginning would have dreamt of one day going to places like this. So it's really cool that you're kind of like, that dream's coming true.
Yes, no, I'm super grateful, and I like the mix from like the smaller shows to the bigger ones as well.
Yeah. Okay, that was Denmark.
Now we continue.
And then, hold on, wait, you're skipping things. Let's go in chronological order. We will talk about that, because that's what Jesse is hinting to, is after that, we had told you guys already that we were going on a skiing trip. Jesse is not a big skier, so it was going to be interesting to see a little bit how that was going to go.
Very interesting.
So I think it was like 2 days after you came back from Denmark, we went on the skiing trip with my whole family. So my mom, my dad, and my brother. And we went to a place called Merano, which is like just crossing the border from Austria into Italy. I think the area is called Tyrol, like the kind of region.
It was Hafling.
Oh yeah, my dad said that's where the Halflingers were from because the.
But I thought they were from Austria.
Well, that's what I thought too. But the town there is called Hafling. But I don't know. He could be wrong. Probably is. So I'm gonna leave it over to you because you are new to the whole skiing winter sport thing. How was it?
Oh, how was it? Well, I think we spoke about this already once before, but we once went indoor skiing years ago. I couldn't ski, you can ski. So then I went down, literally couldn't stop, broke like the skiing stick on my head when I ended up somewhere in a net. So it wasn't really the best preparation.
Yeah.
And then we went there and we finally get on this mountain. And the first thing your mom also says is like, oh, let's go down here. Let's just go slow.
I think my parents
and it was literally like this, the
because
mountain.
I told my parents that yes, I went skiing twice. I think they thought, oh, you know, he'll just like pizza, point it down and he'll be fine. And I don't know why, I kind of thought the same because also when we went skiing the second time in Germany, I mean, the slopes there were really easy, but you did manage quite well. So I also just thought like, I mean, straight away we booked, yes, a lesson. As soon as we got up to the top, we booked you a lesson, but that wasn't going to be for 2 hours. So in my brain, I thought, well...
It's more than 2 hours actually, but...
In my brain, I thought, okay, he can just like really slowly like figure out his feet and stuff like that. And I think my parents were very ambitious. They've been skiing all their life. And they were like, oh, just go down here. You'll be fine.
Well,
just
you
go
as well.
slow.
I think it's very hard for you guys when you know how to ski to imagine somebody that doesn't know how to ski. So then you guys went to ski.
Yeah.
And I went for a walk and I thought I'd just have the skis on. Well, then I had to go up and I was sweating because you can't really do that with a ski. It's not a langlauf ski.
No.
But anyways, then I had my lesson. It was okay. For 2 hours, I think.
You did really good. We were like stalking, yes, a little bit. I mean, we went and did our own things, but we were also like stalking and following him a little bit without him knowing. And he was really cute. I've got some videos, I'll put them in. But he was doing like the pizza
of my
point.
lesson.
Oh, yeah. He was doing like the pizza point and following the instructor. And the instructor was grabbing him and holding his arm and like showing him how to put his body. But you were pretty brave. And I feel like you got the hang of it quite quickly.
Oh no, because I really, like after these 2 hours, you guys took me up the highest mountain ever. And I just panicked. I hated it. I really hated it. Because I was just scared of the height and then I didn't know
Wait, well, you're not being really fair. Because so what happened is, yes, I did these 2 hours of lessons. And with a pizza point, really slowly, he could go down quite easily. But we told them, we were like, actually, you know, if you go higher, there's a lot of blue, which is like the easiest slopes. There's a lot of blue slopes up there. And
you guys took me up the red.
Hold on. But you had done a red also with the instructor. So we told them, we were like, it's actually going to be easier for you because they're much wider. There's no trees. It's pretty quiet up there as well. And you can just take your time. But the thing was that as we took the third ski lift up, which takes you like really up the mountain, you started to freak out, but you started to freak out because of the height.
No, but also I had a 2 hour lesson, which is nothing.
No, I understand, but if you can
I could hardly stop.
But no, that's not true.
No, it is true.
No.
Oh, wow, I'm glad you know how I felt.
But if you can ski down a blue slope at 2,000 meters, you can ski down a blue slope at 2,600 meters.
But the thing is, we didn't go over the blue slope. The blue slope was somewhere there and we were over there. But it doesn't matter. End of story after like...
Oh, wait, let's talk about it because you didn't realize you would be so scared of heights. Like that was the thing that...
No, it was also the whole skiing thing.
Because
because I couldn't stop. And
you had your eyes closed on the ski lift.
Yeah, but...
It's true, it's fine. There's nothing to be ashamed of, but...
I'm not ashamed.
I think the thing that got in your head was the heights because the slopes themselves were no different than what you'd already skied with the instructor.
Yeah, for 2 hours, which was like an hour of skiing. First, like the lesson was shorter. Then I first practiced on like basically something like this. Then I had maybe an hour following the guy exactly what he was doing. That's different than being there on your own.
You weren't on your own. We were all there. My mom also said you can follow me and we can do it together.
Yeah, if you know how to follow someone.
But anyway, Jesse ended up figuring out, which is just the process of doing it and finding out. He figured out that high was not his thing, so he just went back down. You didn't fall. You went down really nicely and quietly. And then you remained for the rest of the day like on the lower slopes.
No, that was the next day.
Oh, did we finish that day?
Once we were finally down, yes.
Okay, well then for the next day, he stayed a little bit on the lower slopes. You got another lesson, and then you were able to join us on the last day, going back up again. And you were way more confident. You were going just as fast as I was.
Oh, but that was exactly after I had like hours and hours for myself for a second.
Yeah, we just let you do. Oh. We just let you do your thing.
Yes.
And then yeah.
But then I also really enjoyed it. So when I wasn't really sure how to do it, I was very scared, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it. And then the last 3 hours were really nice.
Yeah, but you were really brave and you did really well. And I think also it's one of those things that like you don't know where your boundaries are until you try it. So until you went up the mountain, you wouldn't have known, okay, am I ready for that? Am I not ready for that? You also don't, because you haven't skied that high.
I knew I wasn't ready for that, and I told you guys.
Well, listen.
Nobody
forced you on the ski lift, right?
Oh, actually,
it was your choice.
I nearly went back with the ski lift, which was actually,
oh my God,
I was so very happy
funny.
Because the ski lift, like you have slower ones, but this one was a bit higher, I think. And
wait, let's explain it. It's the ski lift where like you sit down and you pull the thing down. It's not that you're in a cabin and standing. You're like, you have your skis and everything on, and you just pull the thing down, and then it brings you up. So then when you arrive at the end, the thing comes back up, and it doesn't really stop. You just have to keep skiing out of it. And so the first time we went all the way to the top, yes, it was. Will you tell them what happened?
So now I can tell them.
Yeah.
You finish it.
No, tell them.
Oh, I was trying to tell them.
No problem, I'll finish it. Because I don't want them to like not understand, because it was really, really funny. So yeah. I was with him, and this is when 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐 was already closing his eyes, and he was like, okay, it's really high, I don't want to focus on that, blah, blah, blah. We arrive, I pull the thing up, and I tell him, I'm like, okay, just put your skis down and kind of let the thing, let the ski lift push you forwards, and then use your sticks and just go forwards. And so I obviously put my feet down, I push, and I get up, and then I hear like a scream in the back, and I was like, oh, he's probably just like lost his balance, but he's behind me. I turn around, 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒍𝒐's like, the ski lift has like gone sideways, and they go sideways quite quick when they have to turn around to go back down.
Like, yeah,
so his feet were like in the air, and then he swung around, and then they stopped the machine.
Yeah, I was quite annoyed they stopped the machine. I was just hoping they would bring me back down.
Yeah, they stopped the machine, and then 𝒋𝒐𝒍𝒐 was able to get off. You had to get off on this like really high ridge, and then which made you like really look down the mountain. But once you got off there, you were fine. It was just a funny little.
Oh, it's really funny, yeah. But you're a good skier. Like, okay, let's not make this very negative. I really had a good time, and it was really nice also with your family.
Yeah.
I just had to get more experience, I guess.
Yeah, but by the end, you did much better, and I think if we go every year, you'll feel way more confident rather than just like once every now and then.
And your mom also looks very fabulous, and then your dad really cool with his snowboard, and you and Steve are just crazy on skis.
My brother has this thing where his aim is just like, he downloaded this like speed app, and his aim is just to go down the slope as fast as possible. Like it's not about style, it's just about speed for him. But let's get to my little situation here. So I had a really fun time on the slopes until the last day, where I asked if I could like swap rental skis because I wanted something to go a little bit faster. Now, mind you, when we were skiing, it was so bloody hot because it was between 10 to 12 degrees. So it was like the snow was melting. It was really warm. We all got burnt as well. So on the last day, well, for most of the time, actually, I was skiing without my jacket. I was skiing with just like my base layer on because it was so warm.
This is even a skiing thing, no?
Yeah, this is also a skiing base layer. But I was skiing with just my base layer, and my brother and I went all the way up to the top alone, just with each other. And we decided to do a black slope, which is not a problem for us. But it was super icy because during the day, it like gets watery, and then at night it freezes again. So like it does get quite icy. I make it down the black piece fast, pretty easily at the beginning, and the last bit's actually the easiest bit. But then I was going really fast, and like one of my skis just like, it kind of like just gave way. It just like opened. I don't know what happened. And so I fell. The fall wasn't bad or anything, but because I only had my base layer on and it was all ice, I completely... Yeah, I completely took all like the skin off my forearm. This is already like a week and a bit old, so it was actually a little bit bigger than this. I took all...
you get new pink skin.
Yeah. I took all the skin off underneath my forearm, and my whole arm was bruised as well. It's still a little bit... I'll insert some photos. If you are squeamish, just fast forward 20 or 30 seconds. Squeamish. Like if you like don't like seeing blood and stuff. So that was really not fun. But I'm glad that if it happened on the last day. But it's actually been like so annoying because I mean it's much less tender now, but it's been so sensitive and painful, and now that it's healing, all the skin is super tight, so any little movement like breaks the scab apart. I mean, I've got stuff on it now, which is why it looks so shiny, but it is doing much better now. And 2 days ago I was able to start riding again, because before that it was just too painful, especially because my whole arm was blue. Because when I fell, I kept sliding, I kept going down the hill, and the only thing that was trying to stop me was my arm, so all my weight was on this arm.
Were you laughing?
No, no, I was certainly not laughing, but I didn't actually realize I hurt myself until I went all the way down the slope, like put my ski back on, went down the slope, and then I pulled my thing down and I was like, holy, I didn't even realize I hurt myself. I think because it was like cold and I was a bit in shock as well. So yeah, so that ended the whole ski trip, but it was fun. It happened on the last day. Just like 2 hours before we finished skiing.
And then back to the spa.
Yeah, and we had a really lovely hotel, so we were able to like chill at the spa, and it was really nice with my family, so we had a good time. Yeah.
I was blind in the spa.
I don't know what happened there, but let's not go into that as well. Right, so that brings me up to, I wanted to have a quick chat about like the whole property situation, because I feel like, I mean, I didn't tell you I wanted to talk about this, but I am literally getting anxiety from this whole process, and I think it's because there's this like undefined future, and for us this place is temporary. We're renting it for like 1.5 years now, that's what's left, and after that it's getting sold, and we do not have the opportunity to extend the lease. So I'm kind of freaking out, because I know 1.5 years sounds like a long time, but for what we're trying to find, that's not a long time.
But it will work out.
And we have like people we employ that continue to need employment to work for us. We have like 10 horses now that like need a home. We need a home, and it's like it's not so easy just to find something to fix all those issues without buying a place.
Yeah, but you also don't want to just get something for the sake of getting it.
No, it's not that we're just like, okay, we have no options and we have no time, so it's just gonna have to be this. Like, that's not the scenario we want to be in. So I'm like really struggling with that a little bit, and I feel like a huge sense of like pressure and stress because of this like lingering thing on my back about like not having a place. And we've talked to several real estate agents about like, I don't think we've really seen anything on the market that we're like, oh yeah, that's it. Like, we haven't seen anything that's like that. There was a property that I had already been looking at for a while, and I kind of kept my eye on, and I said to Jesse, you know, I know we want to film this whole process, but the feedback we've gotten so far is people want to film in the spring when it's pretty. They don't want to film now when it's still like, and Jesse and I were like, okay, we can go there and film and share the experience, but they want to show the property during the spring when it's like the flowers are out, the grass is back, the weather's better. And I get that, I understand, but like, we're wasting a lot of time. So, and we're going to be super upfront with you. Like, if we're filming at a property that we've already seen, we'll just let you guys know, you know, we've already come here, we're going for a second look or whatever. I don't know exactly how that's going to pan out. We went to see one property a couple of weeks ago that I'd kept my eye on for a while. And it was pretty exciting. I don't want to give too much away yet because I don't know how we're going to share that process. I mean, obviously it's like a private property of people, so I want to be respectful of that.
I mean, there's kind of two properties we like, no?
Yeah, there's two different properties that we've looked at that have kind of like pricked our ears at. They're both vastly different in terms of how much of a project each are, and like the end vision of how they will come out. It's not that we can apply the same thought process to both, but it's been really interesting testing our boundaries on like what we like, what we don't like, things that like we're willing to compromise on if there is something good that comes with the property. So it's been actually quite nice for us just to like take that leap, even though we have not, I mean, we've filmed a lot of it ourselves, but we don't have like a camera crew or something following us. But it's been really fun and it has brought me a little bit of peace just diving into that a little bit.
I think it's just very difficult because I think just because doing this whole process, you realize what you really want and what you don't want, and then realizing what you would like is very hard to find.
I think we've figured that out now, that like what we want is not normal here in the Netherlands. Like, to find a property with enough land that is not close to any busy roads, that offers enough privacy, that has enough building rights on it to do what we want and have enough horses, like all these factors, like that is not too close to like neighbors, like all these factors have made it really tough. And like, of course, if you just want to buy a horse property, you can find them, but to find something that really like resonates with us and something that we'll like wake up and love every single day, like we did with our old home.
It needs to be like a home and not just a business feeling kind of thing. But we'll get there. I'm excited to be able to share more, and it's just good going through it, I guess. But it's not easy, and then there's a lot of question marks, and it's also difficult for us because it's quite new for us.
So basically, to make the long story short, we've started the process. It's helped us a lot get a bit of an understanding about what we like, what we don't like, and the actual technical process involved as well. That has made me aware that time-wise, it's going to take much longer than I think you and I anticipated. So
really,
there is a worry. I'm not going to lie. I'm worried that we're not going to be able to find something in time. I hope so. I mean, we will do everything in our power to make sure that it can.
But the thing is, it is not all in our power. That's what makes it difficult, because as you said, if we find something really nice and then the council say, oh yeah, but all nice and well, you can buy it, but you can't do this, and this, and this, then you already can't do it. So,
and it has crossed my mind, and I told I was like, what if we do, because the property we're at here, even though it's not like, I mean, it's a great property, it's not like exactly what we're looking for in terms of location, because we want to be in another part of the Netherlands, but I did say to I was like, is it worth us just buying this for now, so we can have like a stable base and then look? But that's also like a huge commitment, obviously. Like, buying something like this is also a really big commitment. So there's lots going through our mind, but still the optimal thing would be just to find the right place and not have any delays or things in the meantime.
Yes.
But we will see. We will keep you guys posted on how that goes and go from there. Is there anything else we should talk about before getting into the questions? I feel like there's been like a lot going on. I feel like there's been a lot going on generally also on social media and in the horse world with like,
really?
I don't know. I don't know if you feel it, but there's like this weird energy. Speaking of weird energy, there's like this weird energy online. I feel like things are like taking a turn for the worse in terms of like all the scrutiny, all the conversations around welfare, and just like the FAI coming out with some strange rules. Like, it's just, there's been a lot of change, and there's been a lot of conversations, there's been a lot of articles, and it feels strange. I don't know. Do you have that feeling that it feels
I'm hardly on my phone, so I have no idea what's going on in the world. And I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're under like a magnifying glass.
Oh yeah, but already for a while, and I think
but I feel it more than ever now. I think it's good. I mean,
but I think we should also keep promoting all the good stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like people are looking for the bad, and I feel like it's just like it's a sad way to live. And I mean, sometimes it's necessary, but typically it's a sad way to live because there is so much good as well in the sport, and with owning horses and being passionate about horses. But I feel like, I don't know, I'm a bit scared of like the situation. It feels way more serious than it ever has. That's the feeling I get. And I think there's good things about that, but obviously as a person involved in the sport that loves horses and loves the ability to be competitive with my horses, there is like a fear to that too. I don't know. I've been feeling that a lot lately. I can't quite put my finger on it. I mean, I know certain things, but yeah. And then I also think, like, is it going to make it, am I adding fuel to the fire by talking about it? Like, is it just easier to like brush it under the carpet and act like it's not happening? Or is it worth like talking about? And it's a tough call, because there is, like in anything, things not good in the horse world, but there's also so many good things. So like, what do we choose to focus on? And I think on my channels, I just try to focus on the good, typically. You know, I don't make this political, I don't share like political views, religious values.
I mean, you should always step up when there's something wrong going on around animals.
Yeah, but it's so difficult because I'm not directly like, we've hit on this in the past. If I'm not like directly subjected to these things, or if there's like a lack of evidence and it's like speculation and people saying, or like,
yeah, but then you can't do anything. But
no, then you can't do anything, but then you just want to like scream to the world, it's not all like this, it's not always like this, it's just what I would hope would be like a minority.
But I think we're sharing that too.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are.
Yeah, and I think I also wanted to hit on like, I think what I do with like my stable tours, because I think that's the only place where sometimes there's a little bit of like negative pushback. When I do my stable tours, and sometimes I visit stables that don't offer like huge turnouts or like a lot of grass fields for the horses, like I always approach the stable tours not from a place that I endorse how they manage their horses, but a place where I can go as a person that loves architecture, interior design, that kind of stuff. I can appreciate that side of things. There is stables that I've promoted that have like kilometers of turnout, direct turnouts from the stables, like at Amerong Schloss. And then there's other stables that don't offer a lot of turnout. I think for me, I want to try and highlight, I mean, it would be really unrealistic for me to say that like all stables are like this in the equestrian world. And I think I just like to be open. I don't want to hide things. Some stables offer more turnout than others. Some riders don't even want to turn out their horses at all. And I feel like if that's something they want to share and be public about, that's fine.
Well, I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, but
because indirectly you're saying that's right.
I don't think, because I mean, I've never gone in any of my videos and said, oh, it's great that you don't have a lot of turnout.
No, but still.
I think I always try and go at it from like, oh, I love the interiors here, and there's gonna be times where I don't agree with people, but I cannot make that my whole identity, is to like continuously go against how people manage their horses, because it's like a losing battle. So,
but I get what you're saying, that you do it for like how cool the stable looks, and like we get a lot of inspiration from there as well, and it's just really cool to see these extra barns.
Yeah.
But then what you said before is not really right. That, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You can say it. I'm open to like.
No, I
mean, I receive criticism on the fact that I feature barns that don't offer a lot of turnout. But I mean, I think I would be setting an unrealistic point of view if I only show these amazing barns with like huge turnouts, because for the majority of the horse world, that's just not how it is. Like for a lot of these riding schools that are teaching kids and getting people on board in the sport, like, I don't know about riding schools where you were, but in Italy where I grew up, in Germany and in Australia, all places I've experienced a lot of riding schools, it's minimal turnout to no turnout, because they're just part of this machine, which I don't agree with. We manage our horses in a way that our horses are always out. I mean, here it's a little bit more tough because of weather and the soil. It can be really dangerous for them to be out in winter when it's muddy. They still go out in sand, but not on the grass. Like some people could say that that's not fair, you know, like, and
but
so,
that doesn't mean the other thing isn't right.
No,
then.
but I mean, like, I guess there should be a boundary where the horse like has like minimum of this, and I agree, but it's not. Sometimes it's not always possible, and that doesn't make it okay. But I think this is the reality for some horses, and this is the reality for some stables. So I'm gonna show them. And certainly when I'm there, I don't think, oh, this is going to be the place for me. But I can look to appreciate the good things that they've done. And I think, you know, that sets a realistic tone for like the horse world and for stables. And I try and show both sides. Those stables that offer huge amounts of turnouts and the stables that don't. And hopefully people can just take what they want from it out of that. And if you realize, okay, this is not how I want to manage my horse, then you took something out of it. I just wanted to talk about that because of the last stable tour that I did in Wellington.
Questions?
Right. I think we're going to end this video here. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We've caught you guys up on everything. And we're going to go on to, in a couple of days, I think in like literally 2 or 3 days, the next video will come out. with all of your guys' questions, which will be fun to answer.
This was very strange for me. I don't know how to feel.
Well, this is what a podcast is also. Like, you're not like always like reading people's questions.
But I wasn't prepared for this.
Why do you have to be prepared?
I feel like I may not have given the most fun energy, but I was overwhelmed, I guess.
Why? I thought it was
so sorry
good.
if I wasn't fully. The next video I will be more like.
No, but there's a time for that, and then there's also a time for serious conversations.
I just struggle with normal storytelling. So, I mean, I didn't mind the serious conversations. It's just like me catching up. I don't even know what I did yesterday. Anyways, what did you do yesterday?
Let us know. Okay, thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we're gonna be answering all of your questions.
I'll get some new water and we'll get into it.
Yeah. Okay. See you then.